Welcome back to Route 40 Rust, and we got to get this 1966 F250 Camper Special ready for a car show. Okay, so here's the deal. There's a car show coming up at the end of this week. I've got a whole bunch of little things to take care of, nothing big, but if I don't get right on it and stay on top of it, they'll get away from me, and then this truck will never be done. Now, granted, this isn't like a high-end show truck, you know, no high expectations, but it's always fun to take your project to a car show, get it out there, let people see it, and highly recommend. I don't care what stage your project is at. If it runs and drives, get it to a car show and get it out there. The reason I like doing it is because car shows give me milestones to accomplish some tasks. And there's so many times, like on this Jeep, for example, that I just put stuff off, and then a car show will be coming up at a certain date, and I'll slam everything in like the month, or by month I mean the night before the car show. And it helps me set milestones for progress and keep these projects going. Now, something I'm going to show you is something that I keep. This is kind of embarrassing. So I got a whiteboard full of lists for different projects, engines, and whatnot I'm working on to kind of keep it straight in my head. I do keep notebooks and lists all over the place, but they're more of working lists, and this is the official one. So we got various vehicles, engines, and stuff, and you know, kids leaving me notes. Remember Mother's Day. P.S. Mom wants her tattoo finished. Huh, okay. Drop the ball on that one. The 66. So here's the official updated list of things I need to get done this week. Driver front hub seal. The truck sat around for I think a year before I finally pulled the front clip off and started doing things to it. Drum, the shoes were stuck, and the inner seal was kind of on the drum and it came off with it. So I got to repack the hub and fix that seal. Steering column bearing. Definitely not going to get to that. I serviced the Dana 60, serviced the T18 Trans, tailgate's done. I didn't go to the oil bath. All right, here's one. Park headlamp diode. Okay, usually we'll cover that when I get to the video, but the park headlight diode, headliner panels, wiper arm linkage, dimmer switch, galvanized front bumper. I think we can mark that off because I didn't go with the galvanized bumper. I found a 6772 bump side bumper that I force fit on that truck. 12-volt post done. Washer bag, yeah, the old washer bag, the C clears that go on the fender with the new pump. Gotta do that. Fix the poverty caps. They're just spray galved, cold galv. Need a brake light switch. It doesn't have one of those. I need tow hooks in the front because it's a Ford. I'm going to do some vintage sheet metal patching, which, man, that's pretty cool stuff. But and some shocks, 4 shocks all the way around, and that might be it. I got to go through some of my notebook lists and see what else I got to do. I do want to tell you about these patches. Well, you know what? All I got to say is I'm going to use this old Huffman Corp in Dayton, Ohio. Pretty old company, interesting history. And I'm going to use this Sinclair stock spray for, you know, stable flies and stuff like that you could spray around the old bank barn, keep the flies down. Anyway, I'll show you what I'm going to do with those when the time comes. Not overflow reservoirs, that's for sure. Catch cans, got a different plan. So I'm going to make a series of videos this week. I don't know how many videos I'm going to do depending on my time and how I'm going to edit them all up, and I really don't want to just dump a whole bunch of videos on you guys throughout the week because you kind of get burnt up seeing the same stuff over again. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. It is today's Mother's Day. Crap, it's Mother's Day. Anyway, so I got 1 week to the car show. It's in our small town here. Pretty nice little show, and I'll make a video of the show. There's usually some pretty nice cars, especially I don't know the year, it's a Galaxy 500 that I absolutely adore. I've always, when I judge the show, put it for best in show, and no one agrees with me. Some Bel Air got it last year, which was also nice. But at any rate, it's Mother's Day, so I gotta figure out something to do. But yeah, so by the time you probably see all these videos, this car show coming past, but who cares? We'll worry about that when the time comes. Anyway, that's what I got to do, and stick around and we'll go through some of these videos. Got the wrong battery for the right vehicle, I suppose. What is going on here? That temporarily installed. I'm sure you're looking at all those wire nuts. Don't worry, it's okay. I know that's wrong, and that's on the to-do list too. I know that it looks like I'm mindlessly installing a battery, but my mind is going about 4,000 different places of stuff that needs to be done. And like I said, this is not a show truck, but it's a very special truck to the family, and the kind of work we did together on it recently, and just proud of it. And we'll get her out there, and I do pride myself on presentation at a car show, so I've got some bells and whistles I like to do, and trust me guys, it's a little bit better than you know, putting the Wile E. Coyote under the front tire of your Roadrunner, you know, and putting a skeleton in the passenger seat, which is all fine and dandy, but it's been done. People seen that. I'll tell you what, 60-year-old rubber. So that's gonna be done. Things will be done. Got Mountain Dew in there, so we're good. Keeps you cool. Alright, nothing caught on fire, so mouse or my steering column bearing hasn't shot out of there yet, so we're good. Let's go find some keys to this guy. Alright. Choke. Safety wiggle. Tell you what, this is one of the best starting trucks that I've got. Get some of the oil pressures. Well, there's the, when I'm in traffic and there's a officer of the law behind me, I gotta give myself some brake lights, because I did build a bracket down there for a generic switch, but it kind of like interfered with the clutch pedal and the hose clamp, so I need to figure out something different. I did it in kind of a pinch, so we'll have to circle back around. And I also am thinking about pulling this dash pad off, because these things look pretty good without it. I don't know what all that takes. There's trim up in there. I don't know if get the cluster out and get these screws out. I don't know. We'll just have to prioritize. Let's put this thing at first. Oh. Tell you what, with a T18 straight 6 Dana 60 with 410 gears, this thing's a She's a menace. Oh. I was gonna order a new muffler for this. It's got a glass pack on it, like a generic Summit one. And I really wanted to get a Jones exhaust system. They're turbo tubes. Those things sound good, especially when you don't have a V8. But, oh well. Good news. Dimmer switch is screwed to the floor. Alright, let's see what we can get done. So first thing first is I'm sick and tired of opening the hood and seeing my wire nuts. And the reason it's like that, and I'm gonna have to untape it and try to remember what I did. I pulled this whole front clip off and to do cab mounts on it last fall, and I think I just cut the harness to all the lighting on the core support, and voltage regulator. But I also, in the Department of Transportation wasn't even invented, you know, Lyndon B. Johnson did it in '66. So there wasn't a lot of regulations. ASE had some standards for automobiles, but nothing like government mandated. So on some of your older vehicles, these were just parking lights, low amperage draw. So car not running, parked on the street, you can leave those on if you had to run in or whatever, you know, you had to do. But when you turn headlights on, those would usually go out because you didn't need a marker lamp, or I guess running lights, you might want to call it. And the easiest way to do that is at the headlight switch, just run a jumper to the tail lights, because when you turn headlights on or parking lights, you're gonna have tail lights, right? So you can jump it there and take care of your problem. But since I cut this, I just had a jumper wire to, when I turn headlights on, it would also feed these. But the only downside of that is when you just want to run marker lamps without headlights, you can't do it because it'll just back feed voltage to the headlights. And you know, at those dust conditions, you know, cars just look so good with just running lights or park lights on them. So I'm just going to take a diode, and I'll tell you which diode is handy to have around, and solder that in there to my little jumper. That way, you know, it acts like a check valve, so voltage can go to the marker lamps when the headlights are turned on, but when just the marker lamps are turned on, it won't backfeed voltage to the headlights. So if we check the messy barn that was supposed to be cleaned the other day, we're going to look for one little diode hanging around here. Are you in there? Nope. Oop, look at that. So these guys, it's worth buying a handful. I remember when Radio Shack was around. This is a 5401, so an IN 5401. I think they're, I don't know, 5 amp. But anyway, whatever you put your diode on, go ahead, get your meter out. Again, series, check amperage draw. That way you don't burn something down. But back in the day when Radio Shack, comment below if you remember Radio Shack and all the fun stuff that you could do there. Let's see what I did. Tell you right now, I don't think that washer hose is gonna hold together. Tastes like LBJ's slippers. You know an interesting fact about Lyndon B. Johnson? I think he had breakfast in bed every single day as President of the United States of America. And I feel like that's something I would do. how did I say I want it? I want my marker lights with my headlights on, but okay. So here's another easy way to remember diodes and which direction they go in, because like I said, it's a check valve. I sure know you've seen on circuit diagrams or wire pictures, wire doodles. The symbol for a diode is, you know, your line with an arrow with like a cap on it, so it looks like a TP with a top hat, I guess. I wish I could draw it for you. But anyway, so that horizontal line on top of the arrow that represents you know, the valve of electricity, that'll be your band on these diodes. Usually, again, it's a good idea to test them when you're verifying the amperage draw and all that stuff anyway. So now I know that I want the band facing towards the actual wires going to the marker, or the parking lights. That way when the parking lights are on, it doesn't backfeed into the headlights. So shut up, chicken. Anyway, since I plan on wiring this up kind of nice, I don't want to have to redo it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw some jumper wires in here and make sure what I have in mind works, as these chintzy jumper wires short out to my inner fender and burn it all down, and I'll just have another Pepsi and go back inside. So if you see some smoke and flames, holler at me and I'll shut it off real quick. Alright, not gonna look. Not gonna look. But I should have markers. Okay, that's good. I should have those. No headlights yet. So that means I'm feeding power straight to the markers as intended. Oh, I got a thing and another red thing and a clear thing that lights up my red thing. Some gas thing. Ooh, do I have gas? Ah. Never do these days, do you? All right. So here's the big. Did I do it right? So now I want headlights and markers. Scared to look. Ha! Got it. Ha! Got it. Got it. Boop. All right. So diode plan 47. 2B works. All right. Let's button this up and make it look less embarrassing to be me. So I know I'm in a hurry, so I'm rushing and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Pretty much an amp. I got 0.95. Okay, so good. And these things are rated for what? 3 amps? All right, let's get this show on the road. This is ridiculous. Real long, stupid story short, your again 66 F250 red wire black tracer. That's your headlight power to the lows. And where'd it go? Come in here. I think it's black wire yellow tracer. Goes to your marker lamp, so I just spliced into that the diode. So if you want marker lamps, it doesn't backfeed the headlamps, and that's how I do it. So it'll lay flat, clean, safe, secure, watertight, and I can just get tape back up to the original harness. But I'm going to fix all these other wire ties that I spliced into. You don't need a video to do that. Y'all know how to solder, right? All right, well now I'm trying to figure out this washer debacle. And where am I? This guy is definitely the power to the pump, which I'm not getting power to. And I'm not certain, I haven't traced the wiring, but I'm pretty sure that is your washer button. But I'm not for sure. So we're gonna have to look around up here and touch things, I guess. Where's a good ground? How about that? So that's hot with key on, which I think you can only run the wipers with the key on. So let's assume that's the wipers. I wonder if, set this camera down. What did I say? Key on. Okay, so I bet that's this goes up that harness to the switch. What the heck is going on? Kids are feeding the goats. Let's get this switch out. There's some weird wire hanging out. What's this? Are you hot? Are you hot? Yep. Little hot wires dangling around. That's okay. Power to the switch. Power coming out of the switch. Okay. I can't see this test light and push a button at the same time, so you're gonna have to be my eyes and ears. I think I saw it. So probably just some loose connections on the switch. Just old and angry. Just wiggling them around, checking on them with the test light probably helped out. All right. Oh no. Oh no. Give you a shut up, chicken. Give you a life hack right here. When you drop something on the ground and you're all out of bend overs for the day, you just stand around and wait for one of your kids to walk by and ask them to do it. Just wait and see. Hey Abby, will you help me with something real quick? Take 2 seconds. I know you're busy with chores. I dropped that red bag down in there. Can you just reach under the bumper and get it? Thank you. All right, so before I mount this pump, I'm gonna make sure it works okay. I bet we'll hear it. If it works, I'll stuff this. Oh yeah. I'll burn it up. Kids told me there were some kittens. Oh, I see one. So angry. Ooh, what's a tough one. Look at that. Look at that face. There was a bunch more, I think. Mama came and moved them since I moved the truck. Give her some time. If she doesn't get that little one, if she abandons it, don't worry. We have hearts around here. We'll save them. I think conventional wisdom dictates that my pump needs to be below the bottom of my reservoir, or how about that? Does it go even lower? I like lower. I guess that way, if you got fluid in the bag, it's always got the pump primed, right? That would make sense. Let's do that. Route's busy. Here's a tip for you, or maybe not a tip, more of a warning. If you ever buy a vehicle and you find out someone self-tapered cab mounts and floor pans and hoods and door skins on it, and it's got one of these, you know, square bit Robertson self-tapping screws, chances are I worked on your vehicle, because these things come with Brock grain bins, you know, big old shiny things you put corn and beans in, for putting the floor together. And I've got a lot of these, and I've put these in a lot of vehicles. So if you ever come across one of these, blame me. Couple things. One, I don't have any washer fluid hose laying around. Well, I do, but they're real tiny stuff. So I got this vacuum line off of a 318 LA engine I got on a stand, and a Ticonderoga #2 pencil. Just stretch it out. And American Saliva. Hopefully, I can get it on this washer bag without breaking the nozzle. Because I've been fighting this for about 20 minutes, and I could have been back to the auto parts store 2 or 3 times and stopped at Taco Bell and got a deluxe cravings box meal. Uh-oh. Here comes my wife. What do you want? Oh.
Put my butt right here.
Gotcha. That's naughty. You know I'm videotaping right now, right? Well,
I think I'll have one line of sight. Camera.
well, there goes the subscribers and viewers and comments and donations. I wish I could catch one of these chickens. Since I don't think I've ever owned washer fluid, like a bottle of washer fluid, or a vehicle that it works, I just don't. So let's try this.
Oh my god, you've been a mess.
Well, now you'll never know if it leaks.
Oh, is any of it actually making it in there?
Yes. Yeah, chicken, it like laughed at me. Like, huh. Now I don't know if my thing's gonna leak. We'll let it dry. And I'm gonna drill a hole and then like zip tie. Get out, shut up, chicken. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why are they all over here?
We're getting there because they Blah! Well, it just started to rain, so that's that. But I think everything works. But I only got one wiper blade for now. There we go. Yeah. All right. See, that's my luck. It could be raining strawberries and I'd get hit with a potato. Got my washer fluid bag finally done and it's raining. And I only got one wiper. Maybe I should have finished my other wiper first. That would have been a better plan today. But we made some progress on our to-do list, so we'll get back up in the morning and get back at it. And I don't know, maybe shocks, or I got a patch I gotta do in the box on the bed in the back. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. I don't know. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and stay tuned, and we'll get this truck to the car show next weekend for sure.